They've been kind of getting these poor rotations coming in. And do you know what I love seeing right here? Is not just where the plane is going, but also 64 players in this server, Toby. Just feels good.
I didn't even notice that. That is actually true.
It's beauty.
It's amazing. Beauty. I love it. The small things, you know, it's the small things for us, but it's really big for the players, obviously, having 4 guys alive on your team from the start of the game. And also this plane, it's well, I mean, it rewards everyone but Riddle. And for Riddle, I'm thinking, why not just go Primorsk or West Coast? There's no one here. Don't go Severny this game.
Yeah,
you will be fighting for vehicles. And you see more teams. I mean, it's more of a thing on Miramar, sure, but you see more and more teams do this, and they thank you guys, thank you. They split. More and more teams will have, when they go edge normally, will have sort of a alternative if the plane is just extremely horrible for wherever they want it to go. And this time around, they actually do split it up on the West Coast. So smart play by them, and thank you for once again proving my analysis right. You see, proper analysis gives advantages in games too.
It gives you advantages at betting to make sure I have to do the sacrifices. Yeah. This guy.
Still trying to blame me for picking the team that won the qualifiers. Yep. Military game, though. That's good. I didn't even say anything. I honestly didn't say anything. I was hoping for it, but I didn't say anything.
Well, there's a few teams will be very happy with that, and Riddle actually themselves, considering they didn't go for Severny this time, are going to be sat there going, thank God. Because if they walked all the way out to Severny and saw that pop, they'd be like, do we just go back down and leave Severny now? Do we run away straight away?
This is when Hannibro and Simpson, the current 2 further south players of Riddles, just smash it down to Prim. Secure those boats. We talked about it in the last week when we had the military game as well. There are only 2 boat spawns between the 2 bridges. You have X amount over on the west coast and you have X amount on the east coast. But there are only 2 between the bridges. You don't want to have to fight for them. And I think there's 3 between Ferry Pier and the southern tip of Primorsk. You gotta secure them early. You have to, even if it goes back north, you want to have those boats available, considering how close you are to them right now. You gotta go down and secure them right now.
Let's see if that's going to be the thing that happens. Riddle have got a chance to try and make it work in their favour. They've got Fenerbahce close by, and it's also how are the other teams going to react to knowing that Riddle dropped close by to them? Because it's like, everyone's had their ground. Everyone knows kind of how this is working out. Oh, we'll play it from here. We'll move in. But Riddle could be the ones that come in and start some of these early engagements off.
And quick info as well for those of you guys who don't know exactly what I'm talking about. And how do you know where the boats are? When we're playing on esports mode, you have the nice flaming sort of graphic vehicles. Those are the hard spawns for cars. But we do also have hard spawns for boats. And as a difference with the cars and boats, there are random spawns as well as hard spawns in vehicles and cars, but there aren't in boats. You only have the designated spawns. And believe me, all these guys, they have that map downloaded, put in paint, printed out, and they know exactly where those boats are, and they know where to look for them.
Up on the second screen, you name it, they're ready for it. Dino, though, had already made his way to Primorsk, so he's going to go and secure it exactly like you were saying there, Toby. He is ahead of the curve, he is ahead of the game, and he's wanting to ensure that Riddle can get themselves ahead of everyone else within those standings, because so far, sat around 75 points or so, it has been a little bit of a rough ride for that team.
And this is one of the issues, right? When you're a team that loots school, it's all good fun, and you have a lot of teams around you, not really the biggest issue, but when you're trying to get down towards the water, you gotta figure, do we want to rotate early because we want to get those boats trying to go through teams potentially if they haven't decided to rotate yet? Or how do we want to do this? It requires for so much more planning ahead than if you're just the edge team. So, oh, we'll just hug the edge all the way down, take a boat and cross over. And that's where you say, oh, but it's always better to drop center because you're in a better position if the circle goes there. Sure, but when it doesn't, then there's so many more calculations you have to do in order to get like those rotations safely done.
Now, Northern Lights, right? They are the military team. They've got this space to work with.
Yep.
But also, you now get a circle off the back of already having a win. They're going to be feeling very comfortable here, and they know how they get to play this. It's how they deal with the other teams coming in, and already we're seeing GL come across, and we're seeing Not Fair start to move in.
In all fairness, it could still shift north.
Yeah.
Just saying, just throwing it out there. It's not guaranteed.
Huge potential for it to do that.
So for CoFest, especially, 2 guys in the boat, smart decision to rotate now by them. Don't beach the boat. Actually, before you jump off, because right now you're not being shot at by anyone, turn it around and park it and be ready for that circle going back north. Because if you're already there, jumping into the boat, immediately sending it across, odds are you'll be able to get yourself the better compound and do not do what Yellow Submarine and his teammate is doing either. Because, guys, when we are 5 minutes into the game, the bridge will be taken when you have a Milta and a Milta power team.
I don't know what they were expecting there, hoping and praying that maybe teams had just gone across. I don't know, like, you just can't risk it. And that nade comes out perfectly. Tornado is saying, hey, you may as well just stood there and let us shoot you, because whatever you were planning to do was never going to work out while we're here.
It's just even if they agree to rotate early, you have a Milta team, you have a Novo team, you have a Milta power team, and you have teams in farm split. There is no way that by the time that all these teams have gotten looted and 5 teams have made it over, there's no way that they can be over at that point. So there will be a team on the bridge. And look at this. Hidrick is just waiting for him. That's one guy in the boat. Smart by Kalimdor. Don't sit in there. He did for a little second, sure. Scary decision, but he's just waiting for them to all sit in and start popping headshots.
3D Max are like, that boat's going to be ours. We'll just let you sit in it for now. But I'm going to get ready. Here we go. Tapping away. Headshots coming in. They all jump out the boat. Hidrick's able to deliver some damage, but has he shot a little bit too early? His teammates aren't fully around him just yet. And now Fenerbahce are stuck in the water. Shots coming out. Phantom delivers the first knock. More damage being done, and Hidrick still looking to try and get himself in a spot to continue the assault.
You guys might not have noticed, but the reason they didn't continue sailing was because one guy accidentally jumped out of the boat before they started moving. And that's what just got all of them killed. It was a great play by Nogi and 3D Max, but there was actually a chance for Fenerbahce to get out because Hidrick did miss the first couple of shots there. Scary, scary, scary. And, well, I mean, not the thing causing their defeat, which we just saw right there, but an issue that could have been avoided. For sure.
Now 7 taking their time. Got the boat working their way all the way to the side, going for the shoreline here. And this is probably the best spot they can come in from, considering where they ended up landing, right? So you got yourself a boat, take your time, don't go in these engagements, avoid the bridge. And Zen are currently camping a bridge as well. That's a bridge you would never want to cross at this point. So 2 bridges completely locked down. That means if it did shift north, oh my, the teams would have to go through that. And Zen would have to make a decision, as with Tornado. Do we move forward for a better circle position, or do we hold the bridge and try and get as many kills as possible?
If this circle shifts north, it would presumably go northeast. Sukdanam would stay. They would sit on that bridge and just wait for teams. They've been doing that all day today. Why wouldn't they change? Like, why would they change it up? Get those kills, get those fingers warm, and well, spray people down. It's the easiest kills you can get. Vehicle coming towards you. Free kills, free kills.
Hey, Tornado already got some of them.
See right here, Seagulk trying to make those rotations on in as well. And for inside games as well, want to get a team in the water, trying to make those rotations. You always get a little scared when you see X amount of people in a boat, but well, at least for now they're making it look very majestic.
I got like a little bit of a James Bond feeling at all the boats going in there.
Yeah.
I want to see one of them crazy boat chases, one guy shooting off.
Yeah, that would be on Sanok more likely, right? Isn't it the James Bond movie on the kind of in Florida where they're chasing each other on the
Big
boats?
explosions in the water.
Yeah, that would be more of a Sanok thing with the small canals and all that stuff. But nonetheless, as you said yourself, Sukdanam, they have set up shop on the bridge, and they can do so for quite a while yet because, well, the circle hasn't excluded the glass house in the western bridge just yet.
Stellar are fully risking it, though. They're saying, okay, we expect it to go north. We're going to stay center to here. Yep. We're in the circle. We don't have to take the fights here, and we can just chill. And I respect it, right? Because you know most teams have already made their way down, and that fight for you is not a win.
And the thing is, those boats are gone at this point. And Estella was actually the team that we were looking at. Now the circle does guarantee south, so they will indeed have to go down. And for Tornado now, stay or leave, stay or leave. They have to figure. Maybe they'll stick around for a little while longer in the case that a team wants to come say hello. But looks like the majority of them are already on the move.
Stella's position now could be really pivotal for them. Because they've done it. They've stayed up north. They don't have to rotate over any bridges. Tornado are now giving up a little bridge space, moving a bit back down, going towards more of the center of the circle. Which means Stella can just edge their way in. As long as they're cautious and keep looking around, they should be all right.
3D Max, they're going to be tanking blue for a while. They're already far out in it, and it's just 50 seconds to go until this one is closing in as well. And this circle just shifted hard east towards the other side of the island. And for them to be 4 guys in a boat now and then get up, they don't have any vehicles available when they do get out. It's going to be tricky. Hamster, long rotation, trying to get himself into a good spot. He's able to stay put for now, but shots were fired towards him.
Yeah, Fenerbahce, Gamer Legion started to make their way down, but Zen just out of nowhere came up behind them, and we're saying, all right, we are here. We're going to take some extra shots at you. Riddle's holding on to their position as well. And Rip, he's got such a nice high ground advantage here, but he does have to be careful. There are a full squad down there ready for him. And if they do get a shot, if they get a knock onto him, they will deliver the pain, and they're going to make it very difficult for you. You may be the king of the castle at the moment, but it may not be for too long.
Exactly. It's a one of those situations where you peek, change position, peek, change position, peek, change position. You constantly got to do that. Millman is kind of the info gatherer for his team. I hope for Cass that he has spotted him out there on the bridge, because if they start driving now, all hell could potentially break loose for still our team that's sitting in 9th place right now, just outside. Eki knocking himself. I do not know how that happened, but, well, thanks. He knocked himself on the middle of the military sort of runway. It's the flattest place on the map. I don't know how we do that.
Jumped, face planted. He just gave up midway.
I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but Kravik taking out Bjorn, so that compound only granted him a little bit of cover. He would go down in the end, tried to rotate further through, didn't really pan out the way that he wanted it to. So for Hamster and McCarn and Timber, they have to figure out, how do we do this? 3 guys alive. Now we had two good games in a row. A lot of kills last game. Can we continue this play style now with just 3 people alive?
Now Northern Lights may be the team that take control of military base, but Zoka and Nam are here, and they're already getting the knocks on and the finish. Mayachu goes down, and the rest of them are just going to try and run away here. Okay, bro. He's looking around and saying, all right, there's some distance being played here. We need to be ever so careful. And there may be smokes down, but it can only give you cover for so much. As Vasquez still able to tag him up through it. Okay, bro, saying, oh, come on. Give me a chance, please.
Stop shooting me. I'm trying to heal. You hate to see it.
Oh, yes. It makes it very difficult. Now, Seven and Riddle, their positions are very interesting here, right? Because they've got the kind of ground to cover when they want to start to move around. It's a lot of the other teams that are going to play around them, because obviously Not Fair already have the hill. They've already got the high ground position. So it's all around that people are going to go.
Now Phoenix coming in from the south, and Simpson in the meantime saying, well, Kravik, can you just stick to your side of the road? Because we're kind of doing our own thing over here. Don't do that ever again. And, well, hopefully for Kravik he won't.
And Phoenix are trying to creep up into it as the new circle pops. And yep, we are going to stay pretty much towards where we expected, which now means for Stella, you already taken a few shots from Tornado. They've got bridge control, and you at some point have to go over it.
And look at how far out 3D Max are. They're still taking damage. They're burning through a lot of med shirts. Only circle 2 coming into 3, but they won't be anywhere near by the circle by the time the circle closes, and they have no vehicles. They're going to be in for a rough one.
And Gamer Legion are right on the other side. Now, Gamer Legion should walk away in time, right? They've got vehicles to play with, but 3D Max are going to take in a lot of damage and just pushing up behind on teams. This is going to be so difficult for them to hold on to.
Look at this, Stella. They have a way of a tricky job ahead of them. They've currently touched the threat of Tornado Energy, but by the time they come down to Novo, I would expect to see a lot more teams start shooting at them. Alpha making that run up on his own. He's all by himself. His entire team tried to cross that bridge, didn't pan out, and he was the only guy that made it over to the island.
Poor Alpha, what do you do from here? At least you're being left alone, right? At least you're being let to sit there and go, okay, no one's really going to be bothered with me. Most people aren't going to expect me, and I'm only one guy. So it's a prone game for him once he gets in that circle, no doubt.
How is Moleman and Stella allowed to sail all the way this close to Novo without anyone engaging? I guess everyone's really wanting to stay away from the water, and sure, the next circle is going away from water. But for Novo, well, they just got themselves a free pass to military. I was not expecting them to be allowed to do that this late in the game.
Now it's the teams that still to get themselves within the circle. They're going to be under heavy fire. We've got such a small area, given the water's taking up about 25%, I'd say, which makes it very hard for these other teams to kind of fight off here. Seacorp, they're just going to start to make their way through, and Northern Lights are just on the other side of it.
3D Max, they just got outside or inside from the blue, and now the circle's already closing in again. Phoenix now 2-2 split. Riddle, though, might have something to say here as they come pushing on up. Dino and his last teammate still sitting over on the other side. So they could be in for trouble should they want to push this just 2 guys, but it seems like they're trying to buy some time.
The nade's already coming out, deafening Hodge. And he's just going to run himself around. He's got to get himself a position where him and his teammate can work together, because that's the only way you're winning this with so many Riddle players coming into you. Right, it's going to have to be playing off 3 frags. going on to maybe kind of having a split position and looking at the same door, for example. They need to have a great understanding of where Riddle is going to be and how they're going to go into this, because your other teammates are being pinned down by Gamer Legion here.
Yeah, exactly. You see Gamer Legion coming over the top, and that's kind of Clip saying, well, I could hold this high ground position to sort of cover you guys, but there are teams shooting at me now, so I need to get down. And all of a sudden, that eye in the sky is not something they have available anymore. Phoenix now see Hoje trying to see if he can do some damage with the nades. And all of those nades do damage, though. Gotta throw them inside the building.
It's quite a big door as well, you know? Like, it's not a window, it's a door. You can do it, you can get it through. Zinzan does take a bit of damage, but straight away meds himself back up. All of Riddle start to get into it. Ghost Legion's been eliminated. Alpha was found, and Riddle continue to devastate Phoenix. Now, they've only got 2 players getting knocked, but they will be able to bring him up no problem. So, oh, they didn't get any knocked there actually at all. My bad, I didn't see that. So that actually that's huge from Riddle then.
Yeah,
so you took no damage.
No
other players from Phoenix are going to have a chance to challenge you here. And the other 2, which is Zaxi and Tiger, they're going to be running all the way around.
Only thing here, how much time do you want to spend? New circles popped. It's going to be the King of the Hill ultimatum, where you have the observatory in the dead center. Riddle did get the finish off on towards Bullen, but do they really want to stick around and find these last 2 players, or do they not? Dino now going down. Tiger trying to see if he can do some damage. He gets himself 1 more knock. Handybro down as well. This is a thorn in the heel that none of the Riddle guys wanted. This nade could be money.
Big nades coming out. Tries to do some damage, but they've got the house for cover. Lib and Zinzan, they've just got to hold strong, and they've got to hope that no one tries to third party them, because Game and Legion are close by.
Yeah.
And they can certainly hear what's been going on.
They will turn, like, they'll just come up over the hillside and pin them down, because they know that once they have the team dealt with down here, they have absolutely no pressure from behind, and they will be the team most southern encircled. Look at the damage that these 2 guys are doing towards Riddle. They're in all kinds of trouble. Simpson has gone down now as well. Fortunately, I don't believe we have any people getting knocked twice, so those rest timers are still to be dealt with. Taika now, though, pushing around the corner. Clip is ready for it, or is he? No, he's not. A lot of damage being done, and there you go. In comes the knock.
Clip did not expect that smoke push to be a thing. Tiger not going to go in for the finish just yet. Being cautious, going to get himself up some health, see if he can get it done. But he should be found very soon. Hannibro working his way around the side. They're all on the hunt for him. In fact, Tiger is trying to hold on here. He's the only player left alive. They've got no kills yet up on the team. And he's just diving around the smoke thinking, all right, who am I going to run into next? Run straight into Zinzan, who will eliminate him. And Phoenix, they don't give any more chances to him.
And somehow Riddle, at least for now, live to see the day with still 4 people alive. It's very well synergized play by them. You see Simpson now throwing those smokes, trying to get them some cover, because they came in on boat. They don't have any vehicles available. And well, for now, this is going to be a tough one. Clip just being there like, well, that's a feels bad, man. Ain't gonna rest me. I'll remember that next time.
Why?
Because by the time that he would get up, the circle would connect, and then they would be down. So he wouldn't have time to get the mids off
we're
anyway.
At 4 now, aren't we? Yes, too much damage. Poor Clib. Rest in peace. Game of Legion, though, they're just waiting for them to move. I know they'll have to come out soon. Stella's come all the way around. And Stella, they got away with murder here. Didn't have to go over the bridge. Started to work their way around. They got the boats and they came through Novo. And now they're in a position where actually they could do some serious damage here.
Yeah, because there's so much time was spent down south, they allowed themselves to push further up and get themselves into a good spot. And look at 60 securing the final kill on towards Honeybro, and that's going to be Riddle from having a really good position and a lot of potential in that game. Game of Legion and Stella together said, well, nope, that's not going to happen. But now for Stella, shots have been fired, and you see McCann and Game of Legion immediately drop to the floor.
Tiggsy once again looking impressive, but can he hold on here? Game of Legion kind of had the drop on Moleman there, but he turns just in the nick of time. He's taking some extra damage. He may get knocked, but he's going to be knocked by 3D Max, who have also come into this fight, and the third party is real. Nade's coming out as well, and Stella, they need to be able to handle this. They need to be able to deal with it, because there is pressure coming from every single angle.
You see so much damage being done by 3D Max from up the hill. They're really trying to sort of get in on this one. And Game of Legion, they're in for a rough one. They had an early rotation on over, got themselves into a good spot, but that fast eastern hard shift did not really benefit them at all as they positioned on the western side of the island alongside all these other teams. And for Timber now, well, that's the last first aid. Not a whole lot more you can do. Cass is holding. He's waiting for you to run. In comes the run here, but how much and how far can you get?
Yeah, Timber, this is real difficult to deal with. Straight away eliminated. That shot comes through. Game of Legion. Okay, you had a couple of good games. This isn't the end of the world coming in 12. You still were able to try and fight it off, but Stella looking strong.
And extremely important kills for Stella, come to think of it, because Stella is sitting
Helps
in
them jump.
9th, and they're sitting in 7th, make that?
I think that's
so,
right, yeah.
So it's extremely important not only to get the kill points and better placement, but to eliminate that specific team that's one of the guys currently holding you out of the top 8.
Or Sequel taking a few shots there. Page manages to headshot him down and back him away, at least for now. He's still able to deliver knocks, but then he's one back himself. So Oztech Warriors have come into this, and they begin their assault on to try and finish him off here. Kaz has got a bit of the high ground, though, so he can keep the cover fire. That's a nice split up, but he's also being shot up by 3D Max at the same time. Yeah. They cannot catch a break here.
When you get these double Western hard shifts, sure, the first circle had to go away from the water, but the next one to hard shift this hard as well. You have the entire mountain ridge, that being the observatory hill. You cannot run over it because there's already multiple teams up there, and you cannot really run around it either because there are teams that will be shooting at you from downhill in those compounds, and it's just such a tough play to make if you're sitting out on the east. So even though we saw just before Stella being a good spot, well, this run over the road without any vehicles available or anything similar is going to be a tricky one, that's for sure.
Not Farah thinking, okay, we made the right decision. We're sitting at the top of the hill, and no one's going to be able to challenge us, at least for a little bit longer. We can continue to take some pot shots, but the main thing for them is they've not got the kills, right? So they can take some shots, but they've not been able to see him like light up this kill feed just yet, which means, okay, placement points could look good, but you need to also start getting involved. Right. And who is always getting involved is Tornado on your screens now as they see the Oztech Warriors, and it's Compot Trash once again looking to try and deliver a high damage game.
Hard push to make a cross, but they're trying to make it work. Outlaw is on over. It's the first knock on Dictator, so could potentially get rest, but look at the commitment from Tornado. You ain't getting rest, I'm coming for you. 30 kilometers an hour with my US uphill, we can do this.
And that is it, right? You're going uphill in a vehicle, it's less than ideal.
And now it's rolling back down again.
And yep, you're running away.
He's hit it.
I
was like,
I thought his next team jumped out as well. Like, yep, we're just letting it go. He did all that, it wasn't working, it wasn't worth it, but what also isn't worth it is inside games trying to challenge not fair.
Yeah.
With their advantage, with their position, it's going to be very hard to break them down.
I like that they split out because they knew they were going to get pinned inside the Wizard Tower. So Pixel got out, Sampeak tried to hold the angle there as well, but for Ostrolovek, he went down just earlier, and now they have to deal with the pressure from above. They might have some hard cover, but as you can see, they're very much visible from up the hill. Look at these positions. There's just nothing you can do to counter it.
And now they're starting to get some kills on the board as well as Oztech Warriors. Outlaw's trying to get the nades off. He knows they've got to push up into him. If we can do some huge damage here and get it close range, that could be massive as X-Team's able to deliver an extra knock. How much more can be done? Outlaw, he isn't finished off just yet. His teammates, it's going to be hard for him to try and recover either of them.
Slowly making their way up, doing it very schematically, one ankle at a time. Get the knock, get the finish off, push the next ankle. Playing it slow, they know there are multiple teams up here, and if they can time it right, they might just be able to third party and get down Outlaw in the process.
And Zampeak's looking for it as well. He hears the shots and he's thinking, okay, there's an opportunity for me here. And he does find it. An extra kill for inside games. Oztech Warriors go down in 10th and just 9 teams remain. 25 players left alive. And at least for Tornado, you've been given a little bit of a chance to keep everyone back up and work your way here. You were down right at the bottom and you're having to spiral yourself round.
A good position up there. Circles shifted back east towards them once more. They will really want to get this King of the Hill finish off. And now for Courage. 16th place currently. Well, if they want to have a chance at anything, this is when you start. This is when you start. But Aggie is not making it easy for them. One nade connected, second one coming down there as well. So you see the whole dip there sitting. It's very hard to get those nades thrown sort of in the correct position, as more often than not they would just fly further down.
Courage cannot catch a break, and Zoka and Nam are starting to push in on up to them. Vasco trying to use the car as well at the same time. Seacorp somehow stayed within it, right? They had a hard rotation where they were trying to avoid multiple teams that they were in between. But they're still up and ready to take these fights. Azoka and Nam start to come in and they're looking to eliminate personal coverage right here and now. Higgy and Fosver, the only two left alive, and Higgy, he is dwindling on health.
All these teams trying to figure how in the universe do we get up this hill without having to fight multiple teams, and this is where Not Fair are in a position to be like that bee buzzing in the ear when you're trying to do a fist fight with someone else, right? Because they will be just saying, well, these guys are fighting, let's just tap away at them. And I mean, they can do that throughout the remainder of the game because nobody can run all the way up towards them. They're in a perfect 2 to split right now, and the circle keeps going towards them.
Zampeak is playing this so well for inside games here. He's already found himself 1 kill onto Melman, and now the rest of Tornado have got shots coming out towards him, and he can just hold strong. He doesn't have to move just yet. He can wait for them to come to him. As Furex, he's managed to come in and find Zoken Nam, and look at the difference. Zoken Nam now come back into it and say, all right, we're getting third party. We'll try and react in the correct way, but you've now got to be very cautious because there's 2 teams that have you pinned down, and you're very much out in the open here, Zoken Nam.
And they probably should have been expecting that push to come around. That would have allowed for them, at least for moments, to have Page stayed alive. Vascu gone down there as well. Eggy trying to hold the angle. See Ivel down there trying to get over and get that res on up towards his teammate, but that will allow for Higgy to make the run further up the hill.
And this is it, Higgy. He sees the potential and he wants to try and take it, but is it going to be able to work out for him? No, it's not fair. Get involved, and they take him out. And once again, not fair. They're going to be the thorn in the side of every team from this high ground position. They've got it all to work with as 3D Max. They've worked their way up, and they've worked their way behind a lot of these teams.
And as we said before, there's just not a whole lot you can do to counter it. You kind of just have to accept it and deal with it, because you won't be able to focus them up the hill while teams are fighting you downhill. Circuit now eliminated. They're just outside of placement points. Get some kills with them, but not a whole lot more than that. And now Circuit Seagorg, well, I mean, they have a tough run up the hill here to make. We just saw one team fail at it this time around, though at least they don't have anyone shooting at them from behind.
And you see them, right? They're desperately trying to find at least a little bit of cover here. Seek-Org have to make their way up. They can't take circle damage here. It's going to be far too much. And not fair, just looking to try and land it gluttony, tapping away ever so securely. He knows that you can't challenge me. Even if you got to take these fights, I'm going to have my team to help me and back me up. You have got a really difficult job, and you've just got to try and dodge my bullets.
Yeah, when you have this angle, more often than not, you'll hit those headshots. Even if you ain't trying to, because that's pretty much all you can hit from up there. Shoulders or headshots is where those shots will be connected. The run continues. Furex wants to get into safety. And, well, at least he lives to see another circle, but it's going to be a tough run from here on out.
Fair play to him for being able to avoid all that for the longest time. Zampeak, he was hanging in there as long as he could, but it wasn't meant to be. As Fosver's now going to take the damage as well. Personal Courage do get eliminated, but Seek-Org, they need to be cautious because Not Fair are well aware what's going on.
Underhand nade thrown down there. Props for trying, but unfortunately a little bit of a miscalculation on the throw, and now that was level 1 cleared. Now they can run to level 2 where Rip is waiting for them.
And this is it, right? This is the kind of final bosses.
Yeah.
They're at the top of the hill. They've got all the positions they could want, and they can see everything that's going on here.
Yeah.
Compa Trash, we know he can make some mean shots, right? But at this distance and that far away, is it going to be possible? Because even if he gets a knock, they'll just fall back, get the res, and be able to work on the teamwork aspect of this.
I mean, this is one of those things where Not Fair is the guy that when everybody's been racing to get to the top of the hill first, then you have the guy, like, you all think you're racing each other, but then when you get up there, a guy's already set up and made his cup of tea and like, oh, you're not coming before just now? Guys, come on, man, come on. The game is going to end pretty much on BCGG. I mean, this is going to be a horrible, horrible ending for the majority of these teams. Everyone, well, but Not Fair.
This is wild. 3D Max still in it.
With 4 guys alive too.
Yeah, Tornado's still in it. 2 players. Stellar Jambaway, he's hid in there on his own. Northern Lights, okay, bro, he's there. Seek-Org within it with 3 players up. It's only Not Fair and 3D Max with 4. And 3D Max's position isn't awful, but it's not going to go in their favor as soon as this next circle pops. And that's where the real problems start to begin for him.
Yeah, all Jamba we can really hope for here is that 3D Max, they can run up the hill to the left side there and get themselves into a better position. Oh, that's not what we want to have happen at all, actually.
The knees, they're grazed, they're ripped apart, there's blood everywhere, and he's now just going to have to try and med himself up, but he won't even have the time to do it as that circle pushes round. He gets found and finished, and okay, bro, it's not your day, bro.
A bit of a failed execution on that play there, some might argue, but I mean, they did get a 6th place and they got a win last game, so it's not really the end of the world for them.
They're slippery rocks, right? You got to give them that,
they are
right?
slippery.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
It's been raining. The sea's close by. The salt in the air.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really help him out here.
I misplay. Jambaway, all you can hope for is that they'll run uphill before checking down towards him. It's a lot to expect, but 3D Max does have access to that plateau up there if they go left immediately. That would allow for Jambaway to stay alive a little while longer, but we'll see now as Not Fair starts pushing down. This might be a conflict that he's going to be taking part in, even though he didn't want to.
And this is crazy. This final circle.
14 alive.
14 alive, all on different levels of this hill.
Yeah.
Everyone's taking a few shots here and there, but no one can kind of get the connections in. And even then, if you knock one, he can hide away. He's got teammates to res him. It's only Jamboy that doesn't.
And this is going to be the layer cake of death, and it's ending on the middle plateau, that's for sure. We'll see, though, who is going to come out on top. Statistically speaking, you would expect the team on the top of things to win. 10 kills already for Not Fair, a team that we haven't seen a lot from. Give them the correct circles, and they will indeed make you pay. But look at this Seacork. They're right around the corner. They might be in for a surprising position here, because I'm not sure BCGG has spotted him. Jambaway, forced to make a move, did go down. X-Team secured himself the kill right there, but still 5th place. They took out Gamer Legion really early on. Important points to get from them.
And they're not going to be complaining about that, as Not Fair are just keeping their wits about them, scoping it out non-stop. And, well, oh my, wow. Very nice shot. Headshots galore. I did not expect that. And that means that now, Not Fair, how do they react? Where do they go from here? They've got to be oh so careful. 3D Max looking to get more damage done. Now onto Tornado Energy at the same time. At the same moment as we see Seacork push their way up. Not Fair, can they hold on to it? It's 3D Max, the only team with 4 players left alive. 3D Max are looking to do serious damage here and make up for what ended up happening last time around. But bar loss for Seacork, he's still looking for more. Can he find out where BCGG is? The smoke is down and he's just prodding his way, trying to have a very close look. Wants to avoid that circle damage. It's 3D Max's position here that's going to be very key.
It's going to end down. So BCGG, in the end, whoever wins this fight has to jump down. There he goes, spots him out, tries to shoot him underneath. Nice reaction from Palos. But now, well, there's a lot of players down there, and Phantom is going to take the win. So despite the fact that they were on the lower plateau, Wacko activated God mode there in the end and secured the win for his team.